This is one of the best price action trading strategies for beginners and advanced traders because it needs to be a strategy that is easy to use using a demo account first. And if that works already, we will have very big troubles using real money. So it is very important that the trading strategy is so simple and understandable as possible. So keep watching the whole video, please. This is everything you need from all my heart. So step number one is to figure out the bigger structures, highs and lows. Such as, for example, here's a bigger structured high, and here we have a bigger structured low. And then once the market does, using a 1 minute chart for me is very important because there are 60 candles within 1 hour. So it's not about when the market does 4 red or 4 green candles. It's about where is the market doing that before literally touching the highs or the lows. Here it's going to touch here because this is the low. And then you can see the market is touching it here. So now we can see here the market before it touches the low, it does here 4 red candles. And this is very nice. So that's step number one, identifying where the high and the low is. Step number two, when our 4 red candles occurring. And then the third step is literally when that happens, I love to use an indicator. This is the anchored VWAP, and I love to place it always on mid rotations or like on the origin of a rotation. I'm going to show this to you. I extra prepared here a picture that I really like. It looks like this. Always placing the anchored VWAP like that, especially if the market is a bit wiggling around when it goes down, because it's hard to just sell on the bottom and then placing it properly, like on the highest point. Sadly, it didn't work out here, so I would not place it here. But there will be many scenarios where the market will just touch it like that. And then there will be this small red candle that we will see later on. And then those are nice entry signals. There are 2 entry signals that I really love. The one is that is very advanced, it's just a rejection wick, and something but that is very beginner friendly is just a small color switch such as here. And we're going to concentrate on the color switches. So once there are 4 red candles, you will see that the market will have pressure, there will be retracements, and retracements should have only 3 green candles if the market goes down. This is very important. When the market starts to make 4 green candles like here, it's just very dangerous to sell. So now going a bit to the right, and we're going to look at that again. So you can see the market goes under this low. This is where I was selling earlier and literally got stopped out so many times. So waiting here until the market starts to make 4 green candles like here, and then using something like the anchored VWAP and placing it there. So the first thing is we can also enter the trade before the anchored VWAP occurred by having enough experience and identifying where the retracement is. So when the market goes up, I only concentrate on higher lows. A low is always for me a red and a green candle. And right away after 4 green candles occurred and I can read that there's enough pressure, always important, pull the market together, identify with experience a bit, can I see that the market goes up? If that's the case, I love just entering the trade after a small green candle like here, making the stop placement under the green candle, and then aiming for the bigger structured highs such as here, making sure there's a risk reward ratio as 5. And as you see here, the market does here also retracement. So it's very important for me to exit also right there, especially as a beginner. When being experienced, it's about taking a look here. Is the market pushing more, or can I see that the market does here red candles or goes more in a contraction phase? So it is very important that it should be so simple as possible, identifying where is the high or the low, when does the market does these 4 red or green candles, and when that occurred, just trading a small color switch, so entering after a small green candle and stop placement below. For me, it's very important when going now to the actual market that you understand that on the right side there's a timer. Check this out. Here you can see from 50 seconds it counts down because it's a 1 minute chart. 5 seconds before the candle closes and I can see it's a green candle, I love already to make an entry. And that already gives me the advantage to enter the trade so close as possible where the green candle was closing and to make the stop placement just under this green candle. And if I adjust my position size that this is $100, this would be a $750 in take profit, aiming for this high here on the left side. Very important. What it gives me just the advantage not to have that, even though I have losing trades, 1 or 2 or 3 pieces of it, and I have 1 winning trade of $700, that I still have $450 in profit, because if I just always $100 and I have $500 in average of gains, I can afford myself 2 or 3 losing trades. And this is for me very important when it comes to consistency and also scaling. So what we can see here now that the market does a lot of candles beside. And this is when I really love to use the anchored VWAP, always placing it, as I just told you, on the origin or the mid rotation to identify where that is, pulling the market together. And you can see the market goes like that up, like 45 degrees more, not like 90 degrees. So placing it on the lowest point, and then once the market touches that and does any green candle, entering the trade after green candle, stop placement below can be already very efficient. And then aiming here for this high. If I would lose here $100, and this would be $700 of profit, the next trade with the color switch, check this out. Even though when the stop placement is bigger, if I would adjust here again $100, that would be only $500 of profit. But the thing is, I would lose $100, I would make $500, and that would be still $400 in profit if that would work. If I can see that it doesn't run that quietly nice, and I'm just exiting somewhere here, where my risk reward ratio is 1 to 3, because I can see that it doesn't work out that much, or 1 to 2, there will be still $100 or $200. So the goal is always for me to aim for a risk reward ratio of 5, but if I can't see that the market is going to push up enough, then exiting the trade earlier enough. So what we're going to look now is, again, here's this high. Here the market does more than 4 green candles, more than 3 especially. Now placing the anchored VWAP, because it's more in a contraction phase, very important. And just trading here the green candle can be very efficient. And then aiming for this high here, you can see there's a risk reward ratio around 5 when aiming here for this high here, right? Sadly, the market didn't reach it, but that can happen. Now, when we just repeat that over again, what I just said, step number 1, we have this low here on the bottom. Step number 2, where does the market does more than 3 red candles? They would be here. And then when that happened, placing the anchored VWAP now on the origin or mid rotation, and sadly the market didn't do here any red candle, or this would be a very good setup. It didn't happen. So placing it on the origin now, you can see here there were 4 red candles. It shows us pressure, and then it does 4 green candles. So now the thing is, when it does 4 green candles, it's dangerous to sell here just because there's a red candle, and this is where I got stopped out a lot. So as you can see here on the right side, here it does 4 red candles again. It means it neutralizes the pressure that we had here. And when now placing here the anchored VWAP, very important, as I just showed to you, and trading this red candle, it is very long. I don't like it that much, but for a beginner, and mostly what I see, it is already very good to trade. Aiming here for this bigger structured low, this is already a very good trade with the risk reward ratio of 5. There will be days where the market is not going to move that much, and in a very big contraction phase such as here. But it's all about consistency and some quality. So for example here, when sitting here down on the computer, because it's a US market on the US session, drawing in this high here, where does the market start to make more than 4 green candles? As you can see here, there's none. Just here the first time, placing the anchor VWAP now on the bottom, and then making here the first or the second trade. If that doesn't work, waiting until the market does again more than 3 or 4 green candles, as you can see here. Placing the anchor VWAP again. Let's just put here the anchor VWAP, because here on the lowest part, very important. This is a color switch, but it's the lowest part. And looking forward, if there's a retracement to see. If there's no retracement, just repeating again. Here are 4 green candles or more, and then just placing the anchored VWAP here where the green candle is. And as you see here it confirms. Sadly, it is above the high already, but when seeing so much pressure, it is very nice. Entering after this green candle here, stop placing under it, and then aiming for a high on the left side. If there's no high, I'm going to give you a trick as a bonus, because you stood here so long on this video. If I can see that the market does this kind of movements, and it's literally almost the same as you see here, of course, I'm going a bit with the lesser movement because I don't want to expect too much. From here down to there, as you can see here, this will be a risk reward ratio around 5, like 4, just a bit higher. So I would expect that the market does this kind of movement again, because the market did this movement once and twice. Or for example, I can also like a bit measure from here to a bit the mid rotation from here, because this was a bigger retracement that happens where I think it's a very good entry, and that happens again, that kind of movement, and that would be a nice risk reward ratio of 8, as you see here. I hope you could take something out of this video. If you need another full trading strategy with also different topics and also a trading journal, go to tradewithjd.com/trading. It's totally free. Just check out the link under this description. Wish you all love, good trades. JD out.